Also, I think we're live, but we might actually not be live. Can somebody log in? Can somebody just log into the channel and make sure that you guys can be heard? No, it's just that, like, I've had problems with my headphones being heard, so like I would like to double check that people can actually hear your voice. I know they're fixed, but I don't know if it's scene specific. What? Did you go to the right channel with the 3? Did try running just the red image without the 3? Is that the problem? Well, that's even worse. I should be live right now. Well, I mean, it might take a couple of seconds, but okay. From today. Yeah, that is no. No, it says that I'm alive right now. I also know for a fact that that I'm not hearing you, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. Audio capture, add source, audio output capture, add source.
Okay, I've now got two Marcos talking to me, so I'm gonna close Twitch.
Okay, so now you should be hearable.
I only have your audio running through Twitch right now.
Okay, I've now got two Marcos talking to me.
Okay, so now you should be.
Let's do the time warp again.
Now I am.
I'm on a Mexican.
Things.
Whoa.
I'm getting feedback. Do I have feedback from one of you listening to me on Twitch?
Oh, I heard myself say that like 20 seconds later.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, success. Turning the crap off.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I've had this issue
Right.
in recent times.
Oh,
And I don't
you're
know
still
what's
muted.
causing it.
All right, now you're back. All right.
Also, in a little bit, I might have
Pizza.
to leave to actually. The best I could do is order in takeout. So I'm gonna have to go pick up my delivery order when.
Yeah. Totally.
I hope you specified frozen pizza.
I'm out. Otherwise, that's
deliver you frozen pizza.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was delivery
That's
French
the
bread
stupidest
pizza.
thing I've ever heard.
Here you go, crappy pizza.
Well, by the time it gets there, it's partially defrosted.
Yeah.
It's like almost cooked. It's great.
I even like Chicago
No,
style
dude,
pizza.
never put a defrosted pizza in your oven.
Why not?
Because it
Eat it,
will
just eat it right out of the box.
But yeah, because partially defrosted pizza has like this middle stage where it just turns into candle wax and it will flow like lava.
Look, I've seen.
You gotta fold it over, make yourself a
fine.
stromboli.
So what he's saying is that you can't eat it. You have like to sip it, like a milkshake or something.
Please
a
no.
pizza shake.
My heart cannot take it.
The world's
Oh,
most
did you hear about the
terrifying
like Jelly Belly was trying to make a pepperoni pizza jelly bean, and it was so horrific that they just like buried it in their archives because it tasted like barf.
I thought you
They
told
make
me
a
this.
barf
Yeah,
jelly
that they
bean.
pulled it out when they were like, we
And
need
then
a
like
barf.
yeah, like 20 years later, they were like, hey, we need you guys to make an every flavor bean for Harry Potter, and one of them has to taste like barf. And they were like, good news, we already made a jelly bean.
Sorry,
We have the technology.
We've already
Would be
done
like,
the
that'll
R&D
take
on this.
a month.
Yeah, I think it was every one of those flavors.
Was one that they had already made.
Yeah, was from the archives because they keep them all, like just in case.
Yeah.
So like, because it's a chemistry lab, right?
Sure.
So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
keep all those notes, and they were like, "Hey, can we get an earwax flavored jelly bean?" And they were like, "Yeah,
Done.
Sure.
Yeah. We got
Remember
9.
Jenkins?
yeah,
Moving off in the
yes,
hand?
you can."
You sure need that now or?
Yeah,
It's
like, can you come back in an hour? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have it with me.
just carried around in my pocket.
Yeah.
Just a vial of pepperoni pizza essence.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think all of them. I don't think they had
That's
to invent
amazing.
any flavors for that, any flavor bean. I think they already had them all on file as various gross crap.
Oh, that's so amazing. I love that idea. I love that idea of just archiving terrible flavors that you've accidentally created.
Well, I think that they use it when they come back to something,
Yeah.
like so that it's like someone's in a meeting and they're like, "Oh, we should have a pepperoni pizza flavor one."
Yeah, and they're like, no, we tried 9 variants of that, and they all
Right,
tasted
yeah.
yeah,
Like, let's
yeah.
look through the file. Oh no, these all really taste like barf. Like, what's the next idea?
I love the idea of having like a flavor vault it's like the
Like a seed ball.
yeah, like the seed vault. It's just like way up in like Norway or something, and it just holds every flavor, including the really gross
Steve,
ones.
while
Yeah.
we are waiting to start, actually, I
Well,
have
I mean,
an
we
important
can start
question for
anytime.
you. Do you
Yeah.
have any particular requests for me to find you random enemies that can be represented via sprites? That you don't need to like spoil me now, but you can be like, oh, I need like, I don't know,
Okay.
some sort of
I
alien monster that looks like a blimp or something like that. I can probably make that happen.
yeah, I will as they come up. I will.
Okay, you'll do it as they
initiate-
No, you just like
Yeah.
I would start searching for them now, but
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, well,
But
there's not
if
a
you can't
huge-
do it without spoiling anything, don't do it.
right there isn't a huge amount of enemy variety tonight.
All right, never mind then.
But now that I know that, I'm definitely gonna need that for next week. So
I'm just saying,
All right.
there's a lot of sprites on Bulbapedia.
nice.
As long as it's something that there is a Pokemon that looks like it, or there's a Pokemon trainer that looks like it, I can definitely make it happen.
And luckily, there is a Pokemon that looks like absolutely everything.
There's a Chandelier Pokemon. There's a Vanilla Ice Cone
Jesus
Pokemon.
Christ. I know. I'm still angry about the chandelier. Shut up. What the hell is
To be fair, what
I'm
you
so
do or
mad.
do not get angry about is like at this point started being
It's not
completely
even an
like
animal.
the statistical significance of you getting angry about something in my brain has just been completely removed because like you got angry at the existence of the Connecticut Leather Company as a video game
Oh, I'm
manufacturer.
so pissed off about that. like, oh man.
Oh, I
What
think
the
I
hell?
think this is it.
Oh, you got your pizza coming? All right, good. We put it off long enough. Oh, I had an anecdote about flavor. I don't remember what it was. Something about a discuss. Oh, I love that. I love that tweet about like
I'll come down at the entrance and pick it up.
it was something to the effect of like
Thank you. Bye.
one Doritos nacho flavored corn chip has more flavor than a Victorian child would experience in their entire life.
Man, that's something.
It's so goddamn funny.
You crazy historians.
Well, like that's exactly the kind of horse shit I would hear from my own coworkers. Like the kind of like
Water cooler
completely
talk.
indefensible certainty that you could say that with. Like, who could possibly prove you wrong?
Fine. I'm looking for a thing.
Oh my god.
And the answer is, we hope no one.
So what's new on the interface front here? We got a lot of pictures now. I see
Yeah,
pictures.
so I added images for all of those things to try to make them uniform size, and they still are slightly too wide in this fucking view for some reason. I honestly have no idea why that is, but
What
it's
browser are you
fine.
using?
So like now there's this image of a card back and a card front, and so they're just kind of like used everywhere. So now there's like a discard pile, like all of the different zones have their own icons now, and there are also new buttons. Also, this was theoretically working last week, but the whole activation tracker was kind of wonky.
Mm-hmm.
But you can now click on this like activation complete button, and it should like cause your nameplate to change style to indicate that you have taken your turn.
Oh, yeah.
And then that will automatically reset when it like goes. It should automatically reset when it goes back to the top of the turn order. We'll have to see if that actually works.
Fingers crossed.
And then all of the rolling mechanics are all different now. So basically, instead of waiting until you like finish doing your rerolls and stuff to report, all of the rolls just report as they happen. And when you make an attack, you are given the opportunity to pick your targets before you roll. So like the attack roller will come up and it'll have no rolls on it. It will just like say, this is the defense I'm targeting. These are my attack targets. These are my heal targets. And you can pick all the things you need to pick. They'll all go into the miss column, and then you roll. And when you roll, it should actually do the math to figure out where they all go. And once they know where they're going, everything should like it will then report the final totals of damage and healing based on like whatever the result was. So that should all work now.
I have returned, and they have food they will slowly be eating on camera. What's up?
Oh, you can close them. I don't know. I tried to attack Whisper. It didn't work.
I mean, why would you attack this?
Random. No reason.
What did it do? Did it say anything? I'll attack Whisper. Here we go. Well, something just showed up for me.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so I rolled, and it showed up for me.
I had to do re-roll to get that. Let me see. Well, now some.
Ooh.
Oh, there it is. No,
Yeah, and now you fatigued him. Now you've really shown him who's boss. Yeah, so you have to, like I was saying, you have to hit that roll button to get the first roll to happen, because it's supposed to give you the chance to like select your targets before it gives you a bunch of crap results because
okay,
it's
so
on the
probably
wrong
just,
target.
okay, yeah, that's probably yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was. And then the mouse over shows you.
Right, and then you can still mouse
can also
over like the aim roll to
Yeah.
yeah.
That's supposed to be there, right?
So has everybody but Marco voted?
Marco, did you vote twice at least?
At least twice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
I know.
He did
Big,
it.
Forever.
big step for Josh.
This was it. This was
Voted in election.
the one and only time. What am I supposed to mouse over to see my?
If you mouse over the aim roll is just the aim roll, right? Like it is what it is. But if you mouse over the damage, like the hit or glance or whatever, it will show you
Yeah. Okay.
all that stuff.
Mine's not working, but that's not a surprise.
Okay.
And then it is aware of how much fatigue you have. So like if you've got fatigue, it should never show you a damage level below your fatigue. And it shows like if you're attacking someone, this should like it should give you that little swords icon to show that you're attacking them and now they have 3 damage on them, or you've healed them and now they have 0 damage on them.
All right.
And apparently the symbol that I'm using is not supported by whatever fonts are on this laptop because it's just boxes instead of the thing that it's supposed to look like.
For what it's worth, it's showing up on stream, so we got that going on for us.
Apparently whatever the Mac font family is for that does not support that Unicode character.
All right. This does not work for me.
Maybe because there's no monsters yet or something.
Maybe. But, okay. There should be monsters.
Maybe you were the monster all along.
Oh no. Oh wait. Maybe okay. Let me try something here.
You try logging in.
What's that? First of all, shut up.
Let me start with.
Counterpoint, shut up.
First of all, shut up is basically It's basically the.
I broke my stupid phone case.
All right. I reloaded that. Nope, that didn't work at all.
Also, I see that I actually have a decent amount of viewers in chat, which wild.
Nice.
But
are they all me again?
Because we were talking about earwax.
They are not. I mean, it's possible that they're all Josh.
Josh just logs in from his 15 ghost accounts.
It's true. I use them to boost my own viewership on my channel. my Russian bot accounts.
There you go. How is Sergey? I'm pro-war and pro-family. Okay.
Numerous and belligerent.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to try to hit Whisper. And...
I feel attacked.
You literally... Nope, that's not going through. It doesn't work for me, Josh.
What? Why not? What have you done, Stephen?
I don't know.
Stephen, do you need to maybe load an encounter?
Did you hit the reroll button?
Pick
a target and then hit the roll button down at the bottom.
The roll button is the hamburger, right?
No, it's the done button. It's the one that looks like rolling.
Oh. Wait. Oh. Got it. Well, that would do it.
The problem is you have to do it correctly.
Look, first of all,
you cannot make me.
yes. Outstanding. It's working now.
Okay, even better. All right, man, Whisper, you're having a tough time. It's the second time you've been fatigued.
Just beating the crap out of Whisper. All right. Enough of this screwing around. Oh, why won't it let me scroll? Oh, because I'm in the wrong thing. Okay. All right, good. Is there any way to like get rid of an encounter? I guess that doesn't matter. Like get it out of the rolling system. I can just ignore it.
No.
It
You
is
just replace it.
Yeah.
So
with
when
another
you mark
one.
the next one, the last one disappears.
Okay, cool. Good to know. All right. Everybody ready?
We've been ready.
Go.
Yep.
Everybody logged in and happy?
Time to find.
Already logged onto my internet.
Time to find a square foot piece of metal somewhere on a planet.
Yep. Good luck. Okay.
It should be an old dude with some kind of insight regarding this.
Yep. So you've got
His name is Jasper
Colonel
Willikers.
Sanders.
you got Dr.
Colonel
Robertson,
Sanders.
and he's sort of like,
Oh, wait.
you know,
Here's
coming
Dr.
to.
Robertson.
Here's to you, Dr.
And he says, thanks for the help beating up those bastards. 3 or 4 more days, and they would have really had me on the ropes.
Does that include sleeping? Like, but you're assuming that at some point you'd go to sleep and these guys would just keep wailing on you while that happened, and then you
Yeah, and then you just like wake up refreshed and ready to start anew.
No, there are
presumably,
actually
they have
new
to-
rules about being asleep. There are like actual rules about being asleep now.
Oh, nice.
So when you are asleep, you count as being knocked out, including having your damage taken value set to 1.5 times your hit points, which makes it much easier to murder you in your sleep.
Oh, yeah.
But because you're not taking fatigue, like what this essentially does is like it gives you a wake up, right? So like you wake up and essentially you're shaken, right? Like you don't really know what's going on. You have to kind of like get your wits about you, and then like once you have
you take a minute to gather courage, and then you're good to go. Basically,
yeah, exactly. Like there are actually mechanics that directly support like figuring out what the hell is going on when you're waking up,
I love that.
and they just work. Like it didn't have to even do anything. It's just like, oh, you're unconscious. Yeah, it's the same as being unconscious because you've been like for any other reason.
Yeah,
Right.
although it does make being surprised in your sleep incredibly bad.
Yeah, it is.
But you don't take any fatigue, so
Well, like someone walking up to your bed and stabbing you is like that's as bad as it gets.
yeah.
Yeah, among things that are bad, there is one that is particularly bad.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, that's as bad as it gets in terms of like a personal attack.
yeah. Well, I'm saying like in terms of your ability to defend yourself,
Right.
like you're asleep.
Right.
Like, if somebody stabs you, that's just gonna happen, right? And as I clarified, like hit points do not represent your ability to be stabbed multiple times.
Right.
Yeah, very disappointing.
You take 900 stabs to the chest, still
Yeah.
fine. Your heart is hamburger, still pumping blood.
So all self-consistent.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So Dr. Robertson says, everybody gather around. Threads, quit pulling rabbits out of your ass. Jabberwock, go get me some whiskey. Josh, did you just make a
Oh,
popping sound?
That wasn't me.
Oh, horrifying. I don't want to play this game anymore.
That's
You
too
want to
real.
talk about the diameter of that rabbit?
Dear God. Mother of God. All right.
It's not-
So the
It's not
bear
what
says
you
to the
hear.
rabbit, "Do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit says no. And so the bear picks up the rabbit and wipes his ass with him.
Please tell me that that's the punchline and there isn't another further punchline. Please
from-
tell me the joke stops there.
That's from an Eddie Murphy special from the 80s.
Nice.
Where he talks about people going home and after seeing a show and doing his routine badly to their family. He's like, look, I'm going to tell a joke. You can leave this and tell it to your family, and it's going to be a lot harder for you to screw it up.
Was that one of the
All right.
Raws? Eddie Murphy Raws? Or...
Hi. Are you saying hi, Ahab? You're a good boy. Mwah. All right.
I'm a
So,
good boy.
what?
Nothing. I was joking. I said, I'm a good boy.
So, gather around. Quit pulling rabbits out of your ass, all of you.
I'm
Threads.
working on it.
Quit pulling
Putting-
rabbits out of
putting
everyone's
them
ass.
away.
All right.
Putting them back.
So it appears that we've averted war for the short term, or at least we've avoided the scouring.
I have a question. Why did you instruct us not to attack the spear of the evil alien race that wanted to destroy us all?
Because I was hoping to achieve a negotiated peace.
I mean,
Ha
I suppose.
Well,
we did.
now we've done that.
Yes,
Speak
you
to your
have.
case, old man.
But unfortunately, it appears that you've been given some sort of quest. At least that's what I'm picking up through the chatter. So, what have you been instructed to do?
It's not that big of a deal. It's they said we have a few decades, so we can kind of just go back to our regular
Sit
order of
around.
business, and then eventually it's gonna be somebody else's problem.
He'll like whacks you on the head with his shillelagh. That's what they said about the Nazis and climate change. And look where we are now.
Yeah, because in
That's
that situation we were someone else in this scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, we were all those people from the 1950s who are dead now.
That's why I've always wanted to be.
We're completely
From the
beyond
1950s and dead.
That's the true nostalgia is just death.
To be dead now.
To be born in the 30s and dead now. Okay, that's a bold choice. So what was the quest that you were given? But all I've gotten from you so far is that you're not going to take it seriously.
We need to find a 1 square foot piece of metal that was put on this planet. I can't remember if it was tens or hundreds of millions of years ago.
See,
Mesozoic.
this
Okay.
is why we weren't going to take it seriously. It's bullshit.
Well, why would the aliens be interested in something like that?
It's made of some
one of
fancy
their-
alloy or some shit.
One of their religious fanatics left it here, and it was very important to them.
It has to do with their line of royal succession.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I can, as a Scotsman, I can completely understand someone killing someone else over questions of succession. All right, well, that seems like it would be definitely findable. I certainly hope you remember, what time period this was supposedly left on the planet and didn't, forget that information.
It was definitely more than 1 and less than a billion.
It was the Mesozoic.
To be clear, it's based on what we understand, it's hearsay even saying that this even happened.
Right. Okay, so you're going to object to the you're gonna make like a courtroom objection to the alien horde that's about to destroy your entire planet.
No, it's not about to destroy our entire planet. We have
Yeah,
literally
I
a
get
geological
20
time
years.
scale, maybe.
I had 20 years of debauchery ahead of me.
I could be
Yep.
hammered drunk by the time that happens.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was the Miocene. None of you remember
Miocene.
that. Good
Yeah,
job,
that's
go
what it
team.
was.
I continue to think every time that it's the Maya scene. And
The
this is
Maya
very-
scene?
Yeah.
Yes, like
You
the
know, Mesoamerican goth clubs.
Yeah.
All right. So, luckily, I just so happen to know a guy down in London who specializes in that era.
I thought
He's
you were
a
about to say that it specializes in weird tablets that have to do
I
with.
hope he's about to tell me there was only one swamp and it was 30 square feet.
Yep. There was only one. It was 30 square feet, and it's very shallow.
Hooray!
And it's perfectly preserved. You can see every lizard that ever died there.
They're not even fossils. They're just lizards. They're alive. They're there. That's how well preserved it.
All right. So all you have to do, hopefully, this should be a piece of cake. We'll just get you down to London, and you can talk to Dr. Dalby, and he'll get you filled in, and hopefully we'll be able to find this thing.
Jokes aside, there is actually another point of interest that I think it should probably be discussed at some point.
Which is?
Somebody on this planet ordered the scouting.
Yes. We have a sneaking suspicion that it was the organization known as Gora Magiddo. They seem obsessed with bringing about the end of the world.
Okay,
Well,
just
well
put it,
named.
just putting it out there. That's probably something that we need to do something about with probably even more urgency than this whole tablet thing. Which, we're gonna get started on. It's fine. We're gonna
Well, if we can get this tablet out of the way, then we can get on the good side of the intergalactic community that we've just learned about, and hopefully that will smooth things over.
I'm just going to say that it feels like this guy just want to bring about the end of the world, but like the whole alien thing is like a means to an end. They can bring about the end of the world through, I don't know, like making climate change kill us all, or some sort of other doomsday device that's already on Earth. They probably don't need the aliens to do it. Right?
Yes, but we've angered the aliens to the point that they're willing to go to war.
No, I get that part.
Yeah, but it wasn't great before. Let's be clear. We've barely made anything worse.
Yeah, like the aliens
Right.
are gonna kill
That's my
all.
personal goal.
We solved. I mean, you did know. I mean, you moved the ball forward. You solved an impending genocide by nearly starting an intergalactic war.
Right. We've
That's-
averted an immediate term genocide by
That is a net gain.
precipitating a longer term genocide.
I mean, but if genocide was going to happen anyway, that it
Yeah.
happened in 20 years, and then we can figure out something else in the meantime.
Oh, fine.
It's obviously all
I
fine.
mean, the difference between going to war and just all being scoured is, I think, a semantic one.
Well, when you're talking about like a hyper advanced intergalactic race, yes.
So-
that is a semantic
I'm just
The
difference.
happy
other
that we
thing that
dwell
we
on
could do
that.
is, within the next 20 years, we become an hyper-advanced intergalactic race, and then we can just find
Yeah.
out things.
I mean, you can certainly give it a shot.
Yeah.
You're well on your way.
It
I
worked
mean-
for Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. Getting stabbed in your sleep doesn't even fatigue you. That's
Mhm.
step one to becoming a hyper advanced intergalactic race.
Yeah. With that said, we'll go down to this guy in London. I'm just saying that
Once
probably
you
would want to
can't-
figure out if this whole Armageddon people
Yeah.
want have other fires in the oven, and if so, how to possibly delicately remove
Yeah.
said
So
fires.
Dr. Robertson is like, we are definitely on that. We've got our top men on it. and top women from other SLAB branches all over the world. So if you can try to track down this tablet thing, we're gonna keep working on this Gora Megiddo thing, and hopefully we'll be able to track them down as well.
Yeah, just wanted to make
Alright,
sure
fair enough.
that we get to enjoy the entire several deaths that we were promised by the aliens, and even if we fail, and we don't get some sort of like other bullshit apocalypse happen by these Gora Megiddo people, 2 years from now.
We live a high risk lifestyle. I'm not convinced any of this is our problem at all.
It is true.
Or at least this barely rises to your consideration of a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
We
might
have a lot
be
more
dead
immediate term
literally a week
issues
from now.
than that.
These are standard Spider-Man stakes.
Yeah.
Spider-Man stakes.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't even arise to the point of being several Spider-Man worth of threat. It's only it's barely like 1.1, 1.2 Spider-Man.
Total like planetary annihilation. All right. So yeah, all you have to do is make your way down to London. You can, I would recommend not taking the SR-71 Blackbird. You can take like the Camaro.
Yeah,
or
we're taking the
Express.
Camaro, obviously. Why was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a question?
Yeah.
Why would we not?
Take your dope
Thunder
robot
is.
Camaro.
I mean, Thunder is out there staying warm for us.
Thunder.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. He's just doing donuts in the caber tossing field.
Yeah.
Just
So
keep himself
he-
out.
Due to
Shot all over the
the
place.
softer back, the Camaro can actually never stop it. We have to like hop on it while it's still going.
Right, yes. It's stuck in drive with the pedal all the way to the floor. Good luck driving through London.
I mean, I assume it takes care of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's
No,
a
fully
computer. There's
passive driving experience.
yeah, a computer control car has certainly never killed anyone.
I don't think it has.
It literally has. Self-driving cars have absolutely killed people. Your self-driving car nearly killed someone.
But it didn't.
Only because of outside interference.
That's not true.
There were Jersey barriers and a kill switch.
Those were precautions.
Right! Not
I
every
mean,
road
like-
has Jersey barriers and a kill switch.
I'm just
But no one almost died. No one even almost died.
I thought it was like heading towards like a bunch of judges who were sitting there harumphing at the proceedings.
look. Regardless of whether a computer-driven car has killed somebody by this point in time, I'm sure
Right.
that with enough tries and the can-do attitude, they can get there in the future.
Right. They are definitely well on their way towards killing someone.
Maybe.
All right. So how are you getting to London?
We're taking the
Taking
Camaro.
Thunder.
We did say so.
You're taking the Camaro. Dope. All right. So
Here's
you
the
roar down the road, on the wrong side of the road, but that's pretty standard. Who's driving?
Nobody. Well, the car is driving.
Oh, the car's driving. Okay, awesome. So you're just like playing Parcheesi or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing Fruit Smash on my phone.
Yeah.
I assume it's still available.
You're doing I Spy in Scotland, which is just moors.
Yeah.
It's just the word moors over and over and over again. All right. So you make it into London. You find this guy's office, and yeah, you're standing in front of his door. It says Dr. Dalby in twee little picked out letters.
We got
Okay.
some-
Where are
The
we?
office,
Is it just an office or is it like in a thing?
Yeah, I mean it's like attached to a university or whatever.
It's a Quonset hut.
Yeah. London Miocene Research University.com.
Okay. Okay, this isn't like
is what it says over the door.
right. It's not at the the British Museum or
No. It's not at the British Museum.
it's
It
not at a
has
notable university. It's one of the lesser. It's like King's College or something.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the Harvard on a highway.
Yeah,
So
London Community College.
we probably should have figured out how much this guy knows already. Because if we have to like explain to this man that there's aliens and shit, they're gonna sound like complete loonies.
Those were questions you probably could have asked Dr. Roberts. And
luckily, cell phone.
Right, you live in the now.
Yeah, you should use our cellular telephone. And
you're not even like in space anymore, so they actually
have
work.
this app.
Yeah. All right. While we're driving, I presume this is minutes before we arrive.
Right. Yeah, you're idling
Wait.
on the curb. Yeah.
We have some questions to ask you.
Hey, so is this guy in the know or?
Yeah. Dr. Robertson is yet again being beaten up by goons.
Some random. He has got to pick a fight with some random people. That's what
so like in between blows, he's answering your questions. So your question is, does this guy know about aliens?
I mean, it's like, does this guy know in general about like SLAB and shit? Like,
okay, he knows sort of peripherally about SLAB. Like, he is not a SLAB scientist.
No, I mean, I guess like we just want to know, like, is this guy like at least in the know about the weirdness as a whole? Like that is the
yeah, I mean, he certainly knows that like supers exist.
If we hadn't show up and be like, the guy like is already aware that there's magic and aliens and shit, like showing up with the story, being like, yeah, okay, so this is what happened. It's gonna at least sound plausible.
Yes, he certainly knows about super science and about superheroes and weird quakes and weird bolts. He does not know about aliens. That will be new information to him. So you might want to ease him in. He can be a bit jumpy.
Okay, well, we don't have to mention that. We could be looking for a metal plate from the Miocene for any number of entirely
non-alien reasons.
A few questions show up, like, wait, who was around in the Miocene to forge a metal plate, considering that humans weren't around at that point?
Yes, that would.
We can say we think it was a meteor, a flat alloyed meteor,
12x12 alloy meteor, with some interesting non-writing markings on it.
We don't have to say it's 12 by 12. We can say about a foot by about a foot. That sort of vagarity makes it sound a little,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's English, so he'll even know how big a foot is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone, oh my God, I was reading an article and someone was like, this was like a professional journalist, was like the snipers who like sit on top of the White House are trained to hit targets at 300 feet. And I was like, I could hit a target at 300 feet with like a handgun. That's I think you meant like 1,000 yards. Like
there's a unit conversion you didn't do right there.
Yeah, I was like, my rifle, the rifle sights on that top rifle start at 100 yards. And they end at 500 yards, and that's from the 1860s. Yeah. Unit conversions are hard. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, so you might want to ease him in about the whole alien thing. And be careful. He can be a little jumpy. He spent a bunch of time in a Syrian prison.
Okay.
Why?
Why would it be sensitive to ask why?
Why he spent time in a Syrian prison?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, I something about him trying to move something across a border. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
All right.
It all worked itself out.
Just double checking. This is not. We're not gonna encounter somebody who's gonna like try to murder us or anything.
Is this going to be like, don't stare at the spot where his ear used to be, or is it, okay?
Ears? Wow, la-di-da. Lucky you. Someone got off light in the Syrian prison.
All right, so I said I'm ready to go in.
Okay.
Let's go.
Threads is ready. Anyone else ready?
Let's go.
With the record show, I am wearing a tuxedo.
Yes. Correct.
As you do.
How exactly are you going to enter this door?
By going
Same way I enter every door, by throwing it open.
By kicking it down.
So you are not knocking, or you are knocking?
I mean, what is it? What is it like? Are we outside of a building or inside of a building?
You are inside of a building. You have to go into like a little hallway.
Okay, and there's an office door?
Yeah, it's like an office door. It's like it's wood. It's got like that frosted glass, and then there's like black and gold lettering that says Dr. Dalby on it.
Okay, I knock
Bullshit
on the
office
door.
hours listed there.
Okay, you knock on the door.
And
Dalby.
they say, housekeeping!
Okay. Dalby responds, "I don't have housekeeping."
I just repeat it.
Okay. Please leave me alone.
Housekeeping?
Let's try not to give the person a breakdown. Let's maybe even consider being honest with them.
Why are we doing this?
You get no response the third time.
It probably,
All right.
Let's introduce ourselves in a more normal fashion, perhaps.
Fine.
Introduce
Okay.
ourselves.
Whatever you want.
I'm not sure who's the more normal person.
I love the idea of like.
I
you're
think that
standing
might
out
be
there in the
me.
hallway,
I think that the
and
normal
you're like-
person in this group might be me
You're like
for a while.
looking down the line. You're like, no. Damn. And you get to the end, and it's just Josh, and you're like, shit.
It's just another one, right?
You're right. It's another Josh.
Flanking the group.
It's a weak draft class, is all I'm saying.
Have to go back to the start again.
Whisper's mostly normal.
It's
Yeah,
probably
somewhat.
it's probably either Whisper or you.
Yeah. I'm just like,
In
by the time, but after the third time that housekeeping gets said, I'm just like face palming, and just like lightly shove threads out of the door and be like, what's his name? This guy again, actually.
It's written on the door, Dalby.
Okay.
Dr. Dalby.
Excuse me, Dr. Dolby. Could you lend us a couple minutes of your time? We would like to talk to you about a subject that I think your research might help us.
What's all this about? He says through the door.
You open the door?
No.
Josh is like,
We're with SLAB.
Oh, okay. Well, who do you know in SLAB?
Dr. Robertson?
Oh, Dr. Robertson. Okay. You're not here about that whole Damascus thing, are you?
No, we're not here about the Damascus thing. Why is it always going to be the Damascus thing?
All right. Well, as long as you're not here about that, which I would like to put out, innocent until proven guilty.
Look, we don't think that we're here about the Damascus thing. I will be totally frank with you. I do not know what the Damascus thing is. So if it turns out that we're here about it, I accept no responsibility about it.
Well, good. There isn't really a Damascus thing.
Okay,
Forget
good.
I said
Then
it.
stop talking about the Damascus thing and start talking about the thing that we came here to talk about.
All right. Very, very, very good. I'll unlock the door for you. So he unlocks the door, and sort of like shuffles off to go behind his desk, and
Thread
you all.
has assumed the form of a middle-aged British pepper pot, and
I was so worried you were going to say Bashar.
Like an armload of cleaning supplies. Is now fully committed to this bit.
I'm going to assume the form of a local Damascus constabulary.
No.
All right. So
Back.
Josh has shapeshifted into what I can only assume is Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
And yep. All right. So you make your way into his office.
I attempt to feed him shrimp or something.
There's a few chairs around. There's like a lot of different like dusty looking bones on shelves all over the place.
I start dusting them.
Yes, you're welcome to do so. And like, you know, samples and papers and all that kind of stuff. It looks like a messy college professor's office.
So we've been tasked for reasons that, as you might imagine, are at least partly confidential, with finding an artifact that dates back to the period that you are that your research gives you the most familiarity with, and we were hoping that you could help us with giving us a head start in terms of where to look.
Okay, and he's like, "Oh, you're here to talk about the Miocene." And when he says that, he's sitting behind his desk now, and like both of his hands are down, and he's like, "Oh, good," and like pulls a shotgun out from under his desk and just like props it in the corner. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about my work with the Miocene. What kinds of questions do you have? I certainly couldn't imagine what SLAB would be interested in that time period for.
Yeah. Well, we weren't up until, let's say, 24 hours ago. The situation has changed.
Okay. Well, you know, this type of paleontology isn't exactly the fastest moving science. What could have changed in just a short period of time?
Let's not go into that necessarily quite yet.
Well, you're being awfully cagey. I thought we were here to discuss science.
Information is classified. We're not at liberty to discuss every single detail that has been.
What? Why would information from 20 million years ago be classified?
Okay, I'm bad at this. Can somebody else, please?
You all would make the worst spies.
I didn't sign up to be a spy, okay?
Murder is all we're good at.
To murder people. Apparently, that's where we're at.
Let me remind you, the correct icon looks like this. This is the level of espionage. All right. Well, Threads is still dusting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am aware. Okay.
Do you always bring your housekeeper with you?
No, he's just weird.
Okay. Well, I certainly won't turn down a free bone dusting.
You got this.
I'm just gonna go for it. Look, we have received information that an artifact belonging to a different race was deposited on Earth just throughout the Miocene, and is now lost on our planet, and we kind of been tasked with retrieving it.
It was in a swamp.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that through the Doubtfire squealing.
It was in a swamp.
It was in a swamp.
Let the record show. Threads is absolutely screeching.
right.
In a high-pitched British.
while holding a crumpet in each hand.
You're just dusting everything. The room is now. You're now like It's like in a cartoon when they're like knocking out the erasers. And the
Yes,
whole room just fills with dust from top to bottom.
it is a
Yeah,
dense
definitely.
fog. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let me get this straight. And he sort of like scooches his chair a little closer to his corner shotgun. So you guys are looking for some sort of alien artifact from 20 million years ago.
You do realize that shooting us with a shotgun is not going to be particularly effective, right?
Well, I'd like to go down swinging.
You ever seen that
There's
movie?
no need to do any swinging at all.
2001 AD.
The what?
The movie.
Which
2001?
movie?
The movie
2001?
with the thing, the obelisk, and on the monkeys, and they're like.
Oh,
worshiping it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a
kinda like
Space
that.
Odyssey. Okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. So that'll help.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
looking for that. Except
You know that
tiny.
Kubrick movie? Yeah. They got the scale wrong.
Right. You know what I'm talking about.
He does. He is familiar with the reference. Well, I would certainly need some kind of proof that there was some sort of extraterrestrial intelligence out there. I am, after all, a man of science. He sort of gestures vaguely
The
to all of
good
his
news
science.
is that you do not have to concern yourself about whether the existence of is true or not. The only thing that we care about is finding a 12 by 12, a 12 inch by 12 inch tablet made by some sort of prodigious alloy that should be impervious to
Take
time
them
passing.
to the car.
Oh, so are you all from the History Channel?
No, we said we were from SLAB.
So this isn't
We've
ancient
already
aliens
given you ample proof that you are from SLAB.
or any of that other nonsense.
Do you need to talk to the talking cat? We're having a talking cat suffice.
Well, that would certainly be interesting.
So what's the problem? He doesn't believe we are who we say we are.
I don't believe a lot of what you've been telling me now.
We heard you were an expert about something.
Fine.
Certainly an expert in the Miocene, but I'm not going to send you all off on some crazy goose chase for pseudo-scientific purposes.
I mean, I think it's time to bust out the dice. I think convincing this guy that I'm truthful should be pretty easy. So I'm just gonna go for that.
Do it.
Talking to
Roll it
people
up.
is actually just a specialty of mine.
Let the dice do the talking.
The society negotiate, and it's gonna be a question about, I guess, a subtle action. Just gonna basically nudging him towards making sure that he understands that what I'm talking about is I'm actually 100% legit.
Right. Okay. So how are you trying to convince him of that?
I'm just going to tell him, look, I understand that what we're telling you is far-fetched, but we are part of an organization that deals with the far-fetched. So what were you expecting for us to do? To waltz in and being like, yeah, we're with SLAB. Here's proof that we're with SLAB, and just telling you that and just telling you something completely normal. What would be the point of SLAB dealing with that?
All right, you don't even need to roll. You could have just said that. That was extraordinarily eloquent.
Oh, there we go.
that was remarkably well put. Yeah, well, yeah, all right. That's a very good point. I guess you SLAB folks have done some strange things in the past, and well, I'm still a little skeptical. Robertson has definitely told me some real whoppers in the past, and most of that seemed to be true.
You you can also just call Dr. Roberts and he will corroborate that story.
We could
Well,
we could
that's
show him the
true, but
car.
you know him.
Isn't there
He's
an alien
always in a
robot in
fist
the
fight.
car?
And
He was in a fist fight when we called him 10 minutes ago. So
yeah, that sounds. Now, see, I trust you more already. That absolutely sounds like Robertson.
we visited him back in his mansion like approximately 3 hours ago when we came back from this whole malarkey, and he was in a fist fight then with it. It's kind of remarkable. I don't understand where he keeps finding people to fight.
You drove from Scotland to
Yeah,
London in 3 hours?
Well, no,
Not good with-
yes, some amount of hours. I don't know. Insert the correct number of hours. Obviously, my character
Right.
knows how many hours we drove.
Is that obvious, Marco?
Well, you do kind of lose track of time after identifying the 78th more, but
Do. I mean, you're not as far off as you might think, but because
Like 5.
UK is tiny, but yeah, it would be about 8 hours.
I guess it depends on the part of Scotland, but
That's true. If you're way up in John O'Groats, it's pretty long. All right. So, okay. I guess you've all convinced me.
Well done.
So,
Whisper.
what do you need to know?
well,
Where is it?
where to start our ideas where to start our search where specifically we have information that this was deposited in an area that was some sort of swamp or more at the time, so it would be
Okay.
helpful to have
Well,
an idea about where clusters of terrain that
Sure. Well, the problem with that is that 2/3 of the Earth's surface was a swamp during the Miocene, so that
that
doesn't
is
narrow it
unfortunate.
down. But just speculating here. If I was in, well, I might need a little bit more information here. So you've got this sort of slab. It's made out of an interesting alloy. It's chucked into a swamp at some point. Why was it? Why were the aliens on the planet throwing it in the swamp in the first place?
Oh, it's some sort of ancient law document or some shit. It has to do with their. I should probably didn't. I should probably not have said that. Let's say that it's some sort of law document that, without going into any details, is important for.
Okay.
Yeah. It should have
Well,
markings on it that.
is it important to these folks?
Yeah. What's important about it is not the tablet. It's what's on it. Let me put it.
Oh, okay. Well, do you think if there have been, if I was an alien looking for some important tablet, over
Which,
a
to be
span
clear,
of 20
you are not, right?
What?
Never mind. Carry on.
Right. So over a span of 20 million years, I mean, it's entirely possible they might have sent other expeditions looking for it, right?
Sure. Plausible at least.
Possible. Pig.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that might narrow things down a little bit. If we can find evidence of alien excavations, or prehistoric excavations, or any kind of alien interaction at all, maybe that was them coming and looking for the tablet.
Sure.
I yell in a shrill voice, I would look under the butter dish. Whenever I find something, it's under the butter dish.
Threads. I
Josh
will
is
be
just
honest.
slowly turning into like the Mrs. Potts version of a like Stepford wife.
I will be frank, Threads. Out of all people, I did not expect you to be the least useful in this situation.
This is a form of schmoozing. He's having let his guard down. All right. So, but the issue is, there's only a handful of places where I've excavated, and I haven't really found any evidence of any alien excavations in those areas or anything to do with aliens at all.
I would imagine that they have some sort of system to discover their tracks if they're gonna meddle with alien civilization.
Yeah. Pyramids.
Yeah. Yes, pyramids, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there certainly isn't anything like that in the areas where I've been digging.
Well, where have you not been digging?
Well,
And I yell under the butterfish.
many places. One of my favorite spots to excavate is actually in Washington. That whole area was underwater. The Salish Sea hadn't even formed yet, and there's a lot of really interesting mussel fossils out there. And then my other favorite place to excavate is actually in eastern Siberia.
Okay, so
there were big swamps in eastern Siberia during the Miocene.
I think. So at this point, I would say that the plan is we just talk to every other Miocene experts in the world, and then we figure out where they've been, and then we start excavating places where they haven't. It's fine, right? Like we. I mean, okay, guy. Jokes aside, I don't know. Like, I need like I'm running out of idea of what things to ask. What do people think?
I don't know. I mean, 2/3 of the Earth's surface is a lot to look at. I guess we could check his favorite excavation sites. Why are they his favorites?
Mussel fossils, I guess, but like also, wouldn't we know that that he already looked in those places and didn't find alien civilization? So it's probably
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot of saltwater mussels in the area that is now far western Washington and Canada, that whole Vancouver area. That's mostly what I study there, but those are saltwater mussels. They wouldn't have been anything to do with swamps.
yeah. That's okay.
What do mussels have to do with what we're looking for?
I don't know. These guys started talking about mussels. You know.
Like the kind you eat? What the?
They're fossilized. You can't eat them. He looks at you
dude.
cuttingly. Yeah, there's a couple of interesting sites up in Russia though. There's one in sort of central Siberia, and then there's one in eastern Siberia. There's been a couple of strange things that happened up that way actually.
Okay,
but
strange things. Now you're kind of talking about. Now you're kind of talking my language.
I don't believe in any of that stuff. Well, I'm a Miocene expert. I don't have a background in
Is it malarkey?
Russian,
malarkey.
strange happenings on the Russian steppes.
All right.
Thread reaches Tunguska.
What we could do is see if there is
He's
anything.
talking about Tunguska.
That's what he's talking about. Is that the strange happening? Like that was it? Like, I thought it was something like they found something weird during the excavating progress, not some sort of like globally known weird phenomenon that was caused.
But then it exploded.
Kaboom.
Maybe we need to do one of these like alien, like TV shows like he was talking about. See if they know about alien excavation sites. I mean, maybe they can help pinpoint.
I mean, what we could do is seeing if there is anything on record from the other SLAB cells about something weird happening with these Russian excavation sites, and see if it turns out that there's if anything turns up to that.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like we told this man a lot about things that he wasn't supposed to know, and he gave us very little about things that we were supposed to know in response. Just putting it out there.
I'm just putting it out there that is entirely your fault.
Well, who put me
He
in
is a
charge?
wealth of information if you ask the right questions, you ding dongs.
I'm committed to a bit.
I've noticed.
I breaking
You
character.
really left Whisper out there flapping in the breeze.
I'm just saying, I am more than willing to have my characters ask any questions if any of the people in the group can come up with them. I am kind of out of juice at this point in terms of things that are interesting that I would be asking about.
Well, if you cast your mind back to things that happened in previous encounters, there is a certain amount of information that you already have here.
There were unexplained happenings that were linked to the aliens, that were the passwords to all the hoo-ha upstream.
Oh, like the water thing or something?
I
All the
remember the one with the
passwords
feet.
are water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember where that was?
Oh, it was in the Salish Sea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those are saltwater mussels, so that's probably not a swamp. And then there were a couple of things that happened in Russia.
Okay, so we essentially, next plan is out of all of those occurrences, we see which. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, it is starting to dawn on me a little.
I laid a trail of breadcrumbs.
Delicious toasted breadcrumbs.
Panko.
Well,
Panko,
I mean,
Planko?
I think that the idea is that what Steve is trying to tell us is that this sort of all of this sort of unresolved cases of weird shit happening that we have found the list of, which, by the way, I have no remembrance of what was in that list. So somebody else will have to check the tapes on that one.
It was the Salish Sea feat, the lead masks case, the Dilatov Pass incident, Tunguska, and is there one I'm forgetting? I think that was it. No, maybe there was one more.
Right.
But whatever, not important.
So I guess that the plan, what we can do is just lay a list of all of these places and be like, just without even necessarily referring to them as the locations of weird incidents, but like being like, okay, we have this list of 5 locations. Which one of these was in a swamp? And then that's where we start.
Yes.
Okay, I do that.
Okay, so you pull out Google Maps, you put little pins in each of the locations for all of those unexplained phenomena. And the Dalyatov Pass he immediately identifies that as, oh yeah, that would have been deep inside a swamp at the time. All of these others would have either been underwater or in desert areas. And near the Dalyatov Pass, I've even found like parrot bones and stuff, indicating that it would have been almost tropical there at the time.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm
He's
picking
not
up what
really
you're
right.
putting down. Let's. This was helpful. I think we have a destination now. Perfect.
Good.
Yeah, we'll. Thank you very much, Professor. This was incredibly helpful. Obviously, I don't need to tell you that everything that we talked about today has to be entirely confidential. How
Good.
What power do we have as SLAB to actually ensure the silence of people? Are we gonna send somebody in with one of those Men in Black sticks that like flashes him and makes him forget his memories or some shit?
One of those brain wipey sticks.
Yeah, the brain wipey stick.
Neuralizer.
Yeah.
Right.
I did
Yeah.
not think we were planning on flashing.
This is a paleontologist who specializes in the Miocene.
No one's listening.
No one is listening to him. It's not like this is, Lady Gaga or
Right. It's not a reliable source of information like Lady Gaga.
right.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, you've narrowed it down.
So
you can drive your bitchin' Camaro all the way to the Tabletop Pass.
Yeah, we do that, obviously.
Or
drive there.
you might want to take your SR-71 since it's literally impossible to get there by road.
Oh.
Obviously, we couldn't take it.
I mean, we can't even use the shuttle.
Well, I mean, that'll get you some distance of the way there. London to Dilatov. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I think Google Maps is gonna have a heart attack. Well, it knows where London is.
Are we
Yep.
supposed to take like the rail, the train, or whatever?
Yeah,
Monorail?
Tube?
you can at least take it part of the way, but you could also probably fly there.
Oh yeah, don't we have like don't we have this SLAB plane?
Yeah, you absolutely have a slab of a plane.
Cool.
Okay,
So we head back.
we fly.
I'm trying to find the nearest road. Good lord.
Nope. Driving not available.
Yeah. You
Hey, it's in the
defo
middle of the Urals, right?
cannot drive there. Yeah, the nearest road is like 100 miles away.
How are we gonna land a plane?
Yeah, actually, that's
Well,
the next thing.
it's actually it's like rolling grassland.
I'm gonna have to switch this to satellite view, I guess.
I mean, you could probably
Putting me on a watch list, I'm sure.
you could probably jump out.
And then let the plane just crash on a hill somewhere.
I mean, it's not. It is mountains.
There is a ridge there, yes, but you could land nearby. There's a plane there.
I assume that our airplane has a vertical takeoff landing capability.
I mean,
I
all
thought that
planes
plane
have
was like a
vertical
sh-
takeoff.
I thought that plane was like a shitty Cessna.
It is not a shitty Cessna. How would you have flown from Scotland to?
We took a commercial flight.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, you didn't.
No, I'm pretty sure we did.
No, you took your fancy plane.
No, we took our own plane.
Why did
Yeah,
we
I think
land it?
Oh
Did
yeah. Also,
How did we get back?
there is another problem. That plane is still in Puerto Rico.
No, it's okay because they have other SLAB agents there who brought it back.
There's some SLAB agent whose job it is to pick up abandoned vehicles.
Yeah.
Worse though.
It's a real busy job.
The moped.
They don't wipe people's memory, but they fill out a lot of paperwork.
We did leave that
This
plane.
place is in the ass end of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, this is in the absolute back of beyond.
This is remote by Steven standards.
Yes. Well, I mean, like most of the places I go are not even that remote. Like the West fucking terrifies me. Like there are land holdings out there that are just unbelievably large. I mean, there are chunks of national parks that are like bigger than like the state in which I live that have absolutely no infrastructure in them at all. It's horrifying. All right. So you've got you have a location.
Protection.
You just have to figure out how you're going to get there.
I guess we'll take our airplane to
Yeah.
wherever.
I mean, you
Where-
also like
Land.
just to give you a little like heads up about slab structure. Like you can fly your airplane to another slab base and then like take a helicopter.
Yeah, we should fly into Yekaterinburg. Or
Yes.
something.
The boomtown of Sovetski.
Chelyabinsk.
Yes.
These are all great places to go.
Yes. I've heard of that. Who says I haven't?
Or Ufa, my favorite of all Russian towns.
Oh dear. You're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Bum bum.
Bum bum.
We're
Firm.
all gonna die.
Well, when we land, my hair will be curly. Everyone will know that I belong in Perm.
And you'll blend right in. All right. Where's my
The other problem with this flying the plane there is that we have to have Jabberwock fly it again, and they don't know that I'm bodily ready for that.
I mean, it turned out fine the last time.
I mean, we're still alive.
Let's go. Ahab, come on.
Any landing you walk away from.
That's right.
All right. My ding dong dog won't come back in. All right.
Dog.
It's probably chasing bunnies. All right. So what's the plan? Oh, my computer crashed.
We take the slab plane, we land to another slab base, get a helicopter, fly a helicopter to the Diatrop Pass.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
We begrudgingly fly rather than take our bitchin' Camaro.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
we're
would be-
obviously putting the bitch and Camaro on the plane.
Yes. You can take his brain. Absolutely. You can detach him from the dashboard.
Well, no, we're taking the entire car.
You can't take a car in a helicopter.
The
Once we're gonna get, like,
Well, may I introduce you to the Sikorsky Heavy Lift?
yeah, exactly.
They might not
We have a
No. We're not gonna put the head in the
double rotor.
Yep.
That is coming to us in the plane to the slab base, and then
The S-64 Sky Crane.
Also, when we get to the head, I will make a point to ask Dickbot if we are a hunch that these incidents all correlate to alien landings, where or alien activity was in some way correct, since he's with them.
I think they all maybe correlate to it, and they were trying to figure out which ones actually did because they're not explained. That's my working hypothesis.
Right. Well, I asked Dickbot if the one that we are going to is correlated to it, since he's with them.
Wait, who are you asking?
The robot that's in our car that was made by the aliens.
Oh. Okay.
Name is Thunder.
Yes. Dickbot. So
We've renamed the car Thunder.
So you deeply probe Dickbot about any knowledge that the robot might have pertaining to these locations, and Dickbot's like, I'm extremely happy to provide you with any information within my databanks. And he sort of like chugs for a little bit, and he's like, yes, all of those locations were viewed as possible locations where the slab may have been hurled but had been ruled out.
Oh, ruled out. Oh. Well.
But don't worry, guys. I'm sure you're better at searching than an intergalactic civilization of aliens.
Well,
Go team!
the good news is that
We can wipe this memory and reformat it.
No. We can probably go take a look. At the very least, we can investigate what an alien digging its selection look like, and look for other clues that at the very least can identify those, right? And if we
Cool.
can find a quick way to essentially identify the presence of those, we can kind of like look in the areas that haven't been searched into.
So how are you going to identify those, Mark?
I don't know. We're gonna go there and try to figure it out.
I assume that the intelligence comes out in like a Cortana chip, where it's like right, it's like a little glowing thing for no reason.
right, and it just it hovers in the light. Because you were like literally just talking to like a literal paleontologist who digs things up for a living.
Yeah, he's also not. He's a paleontologist, not an alienologist, though.
Tool marks, man.
Are they?
I literally don't know what you mean by that.
There's literally no difference between a laser cut and
yeah. I don't feel like I would go to a paleontologist if I wanted to know if something was like plasma cut or a acetylene torched or like
but they would at least be able to like detect ground disturbances and things like that.
I guess that's true.
Because large detonations can be used to penetrate the Earth's surface and gather information.
Oh, so they did a ground penetrating sonar by blowing up a goddamn. All right, fine. The next time I do ground penetrating sonar, that's how I'm doing it.
Well, you are ground penetrating sonar.
Your mom's ground penetrating.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't have to take
Is it an insult, or are you coming on to me?
You say I don't have to take this, and then pass straight through the ground.
Yeah.
The prairie dogs understand me.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So you chop her in, and you land near the Dyatlov Pass. Dyatlov Pass.
All right.
And now you are on location, standing in a beautiful, fertile field.
All right. I pull my metal detector out of hammer space.
Okay, excellent.
And I begin metal detecting.
Okay. Your metal detector goes wild.
Okay. I dig several inches down into the dirt.
Yep.
And I've got a little strainer bucket. I kind of shake it. What do I get?
What appears to be some sort of metallic fragment. It's very small. It's about the size of a 5/16 screw.
Is it radioactive?
Let me just make that a 10 millimeter to keep everyone's head on straight.
Oh,
So a
geez, thanks.
centimeter.
What?
Don't worry about it.
A 10 centimeter wrench would be
No. But 10 millimeters is a centimeter.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Right.
Correct.
Not 5/16 of an inch, but we won't dwell on that.
No, none of that's important. The important thing is when I held my fingers up, it was closer to a 10 millimeter.
See, it's important to go through the metal detector at the airport with your hands in your pockets. So when they ask you if you have anything metal on your person to declare, you go, only these.
Right.
What the fuck? Well, you've killed Josh.
Throw yourself on the mercy of TSA.
They love a good joke.
Okay.
So I guess, do we want to try to find the
Fresh?
site of the campers?
What kind of metal is?
Well,
Is it
I
real metal?
switched
Is it all-
windows and my computer crashed, so I'm a little behind right now.
Yeah, the reason that I keep trying to find anything that is radioactive is that if we do, then we can that's something we can probably identify to a distance. But
You're also going to have to really define what you mean by radioactive in rural Russia.
We're not that close to.
We just lost Steven. He just crashed out.
I don't know.
Wow, you sure did.
Here it is. He crashed the solution.
like, the question is, are there any materials within this metal? Are there any materials that have a half-life that, with a bigger concentration that you would expect given the size and placement of it?
Hey! Okay, I'm back. I don't know what the hell happened, but my whole thing crashed twice. What was the question?
Is there any material within this shard with a half-life that have in a higher concentration than you would expect given the materials
background
this is made
radiation?
of and the location that we found is in?
The answer is no.
Okay.
And the metal, to your eye, appears to be cast steel.
Oh. Well, it's not alien. Never mind. That's good.
Definitely not alien.
I put it in my pocket.
Excellent.
I continue.
The metal detector goes wild again.
All right. I repeat the process.
All right, same thing. You got a piece of cast steel.
All right.
Tell what? It's not big enough for us to figure out what it's from.
Yeah. Can we tell? Can we make an engineering check to try to determine its origin?
Yeah, you can make an engineering check to see if you can figure out what these were originally a component of. Yep.
I'm only trained in electronics. Unlikely to apply to cast steel.
Cast steel, usually not a component in electronics, but this is Russia.
Yeah. This is a Russian microprocessor.
Right. Also
It
known
has
as a frying pan. Anybody else got a check?
Anybody trained in something like mechanics?
I'm trained in engineering. I'll have you know.
Yeah. Roll it up.
Oh, does the thing do abilities yet, or will I have to add my +2?
No. It doesn't have skill abilities.
Okay. So this is what? Problem solving, I guess? Or perception? Or recalling information?
I think this is perception rather than problem solving. You're not trying to like fix something.
That is going to be a 12 though.
Nice. That's pretty high.
It's really not. I rolled a 4 on my die.
Yeah, but I mean, your end result is fairly high.
Yeah, my hand is.
You get a +8 bonus. Nice.
Yeah, because my stats are 2, 6, 6, 2, so half the time I get +6, and then I have the +2 to all the skills I'm trained in.
Yeah, that's good enough where you can get a little bit of information from this. This appears to be some sort of shrapnel.
Oh yeah, this was a thing, and then it exploded,
and it appears to be conventional. Like this looks like Earth shrapnel.
Okay, hey friends, could you resume your? Could you move like a little bit farther away and go to a place where there wasn't a grenade go off? A grenade that went off. I don't know how English.
I take one large step.
Yep.
Stare dead in the eye, and then repeat the process.
All right. You find a couple more chunks.
I take one more large step.
Yep.
And I keep doing it.
Handful of chunks.
My pocket is probably getting very heavy.
Pretty heavy by now. Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have a restore
Here's-
order yet?
Appears to be an enormous amount of shrapnel here. And this appears to be conventional.
Okay.
What does the term earth shrapnel mean? Because I honestly don't know.
I think it's like
Did I-
a shrapnel that comes from the planet Earth, I think is what.
Right. This is terrestrial
As
shrapnel.
opposed to like not
Oh.
Not
alien.
alien.
Okay. I was like, is there air shrapnel? I have no idea.
Yeah. Fire shrapnel? Are they all elemental shrapnel types?
Right. Everything changed when the fire shrapnel attacked.
This is one, but I really wish they had the restore order instead of the impetus. But
Fire shrapnel would be a bad day. I mean, that's pretty much what Hot Shot was. When they would literally heat up like a solid steel shot and then just like gingerly roll them down the cannon barrels until they were resting against the gunpowder. And sometimes you didn't even have to touch it off because it would just ignite the bag. What a stupid time period.
The dumb ages.
The dumb ages. Oh dear.
it was only slightly less likely to heal the enemy than it was to heal you.
Yeah, well, and you had to make sure that the shot was not a good fit to the bore because when you heat up cast iron, it expands pretty significantly.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Okay.
So you're finding a lot of earth shrapnel. Not a lot of space shrapnel. Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
Next question: why would there be this much shrapnel here? Are we in a war zone? Was this a war zone at some point in the past?
No one has ever fought here. This is the place where people die. Oh my.
This is not a place of honor.
No.
You can you do have cell phones, but you might be further out of cell range than when you were in interstellar space.
Well,
I'll have to measure it, but in low, you might actually be further from a cell tower than if you were in low Earth orbit.
Directly above New York. It's like-
could I use Know It All to roll this?
What's that?
Could I use Know It All to make a roll on
Absolutely, you can roll this. Yeah.
this? Okay. Yeah.
Know it all.
There's the skills. Do, 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 do.
We are definitely approximately 200 miles from the nearest like thing
Cell
that
tower.
could be considered a thing.
Right.
So that is certainly more than low Earth orbit.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not even low Earth orbit anymore.
Yeah.
So, I guess this. What would this be like? What kind of role could it? Is this a society or esoterica more applicable?
I think this is esoterica. Yeah.
And I think this works. Yeah, that's a lot of low rolls, but I got a 14.
Nice. All right. So you recall vaguely that this entire area, a huge chunk of this area, was used for testing parachute. What would you call that? Like parachute slowed aerial mines by the Soviets in the 1960s.
So it is air shrapnel.
Yep. And it's probably everywhere.
Okay. So you can put the metal detector away. You're just going to keep finding this instead of the thing.
Throw it over my shoulder. Oh, fuck this.
Whoop.
Do you have an anything but metal detector?
Ugh. I got no idea.
All right. Well, what if we built a giant magnet and then hoovered up all of this shrapnel and then just rolled it downhill?
Katamari Damacy style.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say things just knowing that it's going to spark a conversation. So I'm going to say one of those things now. Well, how hard could it be to build just an electromagnet?
Well, we have a helicopter, right?
You do have a
Yeah,
helicopter.
How much do we
not
need it
that
to get back?
I mean, we need some. The helicopter can provide probably a generator. Like we can probably fashion a generator that can provide, the several amperage, the big
generator.
amperage that we know. We also need a big chunk of metal.
You don't have metal.
You have an enormous quantity of metal.
Yeah.
Okay, it needs to be specifically something ferromagnetic, so probably iron.
Oh, you mean like cast steel?
We don't have a large quantity of cast steel, and it's in shrapnel form.
Well, you can find a lot of it.
It's still in shrapnel form.
It probably needs to be contiguous.
Yeah. It needs to be like an actual thing.
It just needs to be touching.
melt it.
I don't think that's accurate because in order to,
You can melt it, Marco.
I guess it's an efficiency problem. I mean, is it going to be a strong enough magnet to yoink all the shrapnel out of the area and leave behind the? I mean,
we also need to somehow smelt this thing into a ring shape, right?
Your main problem is that you're listening to Josh.
I wouldn't say that's the main problem. All right. So what if I got nothing.
Yeah, sorry. The big magnet was where I was starting, and then I was like, I just don't think it's gonna be feasible.
You push Bikini Bottom over there.
What if we just walked in a random direction until we came upon a large metal plaque that we were looking for?
I mean, there is a large metal plaque
I think that's an efficiency problem again.
that you can literally see from where you're standing.
Oh, what's it say?
Well, it's in Russian, but luckily you have someone there who can translate.
Yeah, I can. If there's something to read, I can read it. Especially
Yeah.
now that we're back on terra firma.
So essentially, the plaque just says it says 1959, 1989 in big letters, and it just says something to the effect of, in memory of those who lost their lives in the unsolved Dyatlov Pass incident, but in Russian.
Probably an air mine. I think I solved it, guys. Let's check the back of the plaque for alien writing.
Okay. So you check the back of the plaque, and no good.
Well, it was worth a try.
No alien writing. The night when Josh does this, he just clips through the solid rock and looks at the metal from the other side.
Like you do.
Like you do. Would you all like to see the plaque? There are a couple of Dyatlov plaques these days.
Dyatlov plaque incidents?
Yeah. They're increasing. I mean, yeah. It's not that important.
Okay.
Well, you were talking about making some ground penetrating sonar. Is that something we could acquire?
Well,
Ground penetrating sonar is marginally, but not significantly better than the metal detector.
Okay.
It's still such a small area.
Particularly when you're looking for something that is that small. If only you had someone who is capable of generating sound waves.
Ah, yes.
Have I
If
mentioned that you all are a bit thick?
If only.
I'm just saying that it's a lot easier to see the connections when you're the one making them.
No, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. Keep spitballing. All right, you've got a guy who can make really loud sounds.
We have a human sonar emitter with us. We can probably make something happen with that.
Why did you mention that among our assets in the first place?
Yeah. We're listing our assets. All right, Marco, do your thing with yelling.
I do my thing.
All right. So you do your thing directly at the ground, and then how are you going to try to perceive your sound waves returning?
Well, I mean, it is an emanation of my power. I assume that I am at least capable of perceiving its presence in some way, shape, or form.
Okay,
With, my ears.
Yeah. So you can do a couple of detonations.
And by detonations, I didn't just stomp in the ground real hard. But yes.
Oh, so you're not blowing anything up?
Well, the evening's still young.
Right. So how hard are you hitting the ground here?
Again, I am a human sonar emitter. I just need to essentially create an original sound, and then I can just amplify it using my powers, right?
Okay, nice. Oh, so you like stomp to generate the sound, and then you can make it bigger.
I mean, I'm still stomping pretty hard, but yeah, that's kind of of the idea that like once the sound waves are there, I can kind of essentially cause them to act according to my behavior.
Absolutely. So give me a perception with mechanics. Which you are using to perceive these sound waves that you have generated mechanically. Ha ha ha, I'm a GM. You can't say I can't do that.
I didn't say anything.
Josh was thinking it.
I was not.
It's another 12.
I was thinking about Batman. That's the sound you make in order to. Batman. Woo!
That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a really good way to get punched in the face at Comic-Con, by the way.
You append everything with the DuckTales. Probably.
Whisper, did you roll a 12 again?
Yep.
Oh, that's a fresh one? Nice. Yep. All right. Yep.
Again,
so,
this is a significantly below average result for me perceiving things with mechanics, but
yeah, but you do get a distant return. But you're gonna have to snout around a little bit to see if you can get closer.
Oh, we got
what?
We got more where that came from. I think that probably the best. My best bet is just to triangulate, right?
Yeah, that is an extremely good bet.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do the same from 100 feet to front of me or whatever, and see what that looks like.
Oh, the brain juice is flowing.
That's a. Huh?
What?
No, that checks. Sorry. Yeah, that's a 10.
That's a 10. Okay, so you have another data point. You're going to need at least one more.
Okay. How about the 19? Now I'm busting out the good results.
Oh yeah, that was solid. You are really feeling your oats now. Okay, so you are picking up on a return. It is definitely not noise like shrapnel, and it is definitely not a chunk of rock. There is something, and you know roughly where it is, and it is about 50 feet down through the muck and the mire.
All right,
Well,
you go for it.
And a certain amount of rock. So
if it's only 50
you,
feet down, we can probably just send threads to pick it up, right?
oh yeah, he can definitely get there, but you're gonna have to explain to him exactly where he needs to go
Yeah, I mean,
because he can't perceive this the way that you can.
No, I understand. I am just gonna do my best to try and explain the exact position of this thing in three-dimensional space. Presumably by just essentially finding the place that is directly above it, and then just immediately say 50 feet down vertically from here.
Yes. Yep. You can go and stand on the spot, basically. Yeah. All right. So Josh, you're up.
All right. What are we calling this?
I'm going to say this is a grace check. You're penetrating 50 feet of like rock, riprap, mud, and dirt, and probably some bones. And you've got to hit a 12 by 12 target.
All right. I'm going to call this subtle action.
Well, the good news is you get down. You don't have to go down too far, and the shrapnel should be pretty much gone.
That's true. That's always see the bright side.
Yeah.
Yeah. After the first 30 feet, there aren't even any poisonous needle snakes. Oh dear. That's not amazing.
Maybe use a reroll on that.
Yeah.
Like dating profile.
Oh god. Worse.
Oh no.
Threads, we brought you for one thing.
Okay, well, that's as good as it's gonna get.
Okay.
Can I lend him rerolls?
Yeah.
I have the second chance feat.
Yeah.
Well, that is rerolls to force characters to reroll attacks against you. So
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I ended up with 11. That's not terrible.
No, that's not atrocious. And he's got a good idea of where he's going because Whisper rolled really nicely on that last one. So it takes you a couple of stabs down through the ground, but you do manage to kind of get your hand on this thing, and you are able to teleport with it, which is nice.
Hooray.
All right, so you pull it up out of the ground, and you've definitely got a tablet of some sort.
Wait,
All right.
was it? This was very anticlimactic.
It worked a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
You're there. Okay. So as soon as you manage to pull this thing out of the ground, you hear the distant noises of some choppers closing in. And they appear to be coming from...
They're all flying enormous flags above their rotors so that we can tell their nationality
right.
and organizational affiliations.
Yes. They are not doing that.
All right.
These appear to be helicopters, and they appear to be very similar to the helicopter that you came in on.
Oh, it's going to be the speedy gas people.
Yep. Captain Fart Gas in the speed squad.
Oh yeah, those guys.
All right.
So, on a scale of...
they prefer Sasha and Dasha.
To be clear, is the helicopter landing? I kind of lost track of what, is the helicopter landing or is the helicopter close to where a helicopter is?
It's inbound.
These are inbound, yeah.
So, if let's say the helicopter had some sort of accident about 50 feet above the earth.
That is certainly a thing that can happen in helicopters.
It's untraceable.
I'm just saying, how confident are we that these are
what I'm imagining, like, my favorite part of this is the day after when, like, some hikers are hiking up and their tour guide is telling them the story about the Dilatov Pass incident, and then they like round the corner to where all of this went down, and there's just 3 helicopters like piled on top of each other, smoldering.
Right.
And there's Mrs. Doubtfire with a feather duster.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that a percentage of our group has the capability of hitting things 50 feet away, which is a significant fall to the ground in a helicopter. That doesn't.
Yeah, that would be bad news in a helicopter. Correct.
So do we want something bad to happen to this helicopter?
Well, you don't have any idea who these folks are.
That's why I'm asking the rest of the group if they want me to execute.
Yeah, I don't
Tell about
know
making-
I don't know that I'm confident enough that this isn't just like packed full of orphans.
Right.
These are like, this isn't a sightseeing tour.
This is a sightseeing area, and these do not appear to be military. Well, okay. In Russia, the word military helicopter.
They aren't definitely military.
Right. Yeah. They may or may not be current.
All right.
military.
Well, I shove the plaque into the box,
Okay, good. Into your magic box
into my magic box.
of no return.
Return, but only for me.
Right. Of only me return.
Some percentage of return.
All right. And okay. So it's 11. Do you guys want to put off this encounter until next time?
That is
Yeah.
probably a wise.
Okay, let's go. We'll just start. We'll go right into the orphans attacking you.
Fucking orphans.
Yeah, actually, only one of them is full of orphans. The other,
Yeah.
other 2 are full of goons.
It's a little Monty Hall problem.
It's like a 3-card
Yeah.
Monty. What? There's a war crime.
If you shoot down one of the helicopters, then you have a 2/3 chance that.
Yeah, we're on a 1 in 2 chance. Always blow up the second helicopter.
Right. That's if Monty Hall has taught us anything.
Yeah.
And that is the only thing I've learned from Monty Hall.
Yes. When 3 helicopters are inbound, you always better blow up the second one.
Yep. All right, well done.
That's
y'all.
the one that has the gold in it.
You somehow managed to crack that without taking the literal guy who digs things up for a living with you. I was not anticipating that, so
I didn't know that kidnapping was one of our
Yeah.
like.
you could have just
alternatives.
asked.
Yeah, but then he would have been collateral damage in the orphan fight.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he
We
had a
wouldn't want to
shotgun.
make him complicit. That is
He
just.
probably could have held his own at least against the helicopter full of orphans.
Archaeologist with a shotgun. Yeah.
We don't need witnesses.
Right. He just like, we can't take this guy with us. We don't want to kill any more orphans in front of witnesses.
He'll know.
I can hear you. I mean, he went to prison in Syria. Like, he's hardened.
But not for orphan murder.
Well, you don't know that.
I guess I don't.
Oh, boy.
I guess I don't.
So, okay. First things first is we go back to the Miocene guy and we ask him, hey, just to be clear,
You're
was
gonna
the
need
thing
the
that
papers.
was the Damascus thing related to orphan murder? And then we get his answer, and then after that we have the tablet.
And we know we're in the clear.
Yeah, exactly. You know that he can be trusted because you also have orphan notches on your belt.
Although we should probably ask the car, hey, is this the thing? Because like if we don't want to hold the aliens, then it turns out.
I'm imagining you just plug it into the dashboard like an 8-track.
There's an adapter.
Yeah. Oh, it is hella USB compatible.
Yeah.
It has USB 1.
Yeah, what's the Soviet equivalent of an 8-track?
Oh God.
Like they must have had one, right?
Yeah, they definitely
His
had a
nine track.
they
His
definitely
one
had
track
cassette
better.
Yeah,
systems.
is one track better.
Yeah. God damn it. That's so true though, because when they built the Buran, the like Soviet space shuttle, it is literally like 5 feet taller than the American space shuttle, just so that it could be bigger. Oh, and did you hear about Hitler, turbo nutter that he was, they were decommissioning one of their pocket battleships. I forget which one it was. And they were like, because they were decommissioning it, they had these massive naval turrets, and one of his one of his henchmen was just like joking with another guy. I think it was what's his face, the guy who was in charge of the Navy, and he was like, "Oh man, wouldn't it be amazing to put one of those on a tank?" And Hitler was like, "Do it." And so they fucking designed a tank that was supposed to take the turret from a battleship. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Did they design it or did they draw a cartoon of it?
Well, okay, it got
Hitler
as far...
coming out the top doing a little like
right.
"Ah!"
Yes, yeah, doing the anime wave.
Yeah.
They got as far as budgeting it. Like actual financial documents were drawn up about this thing, and it became such a concern within Hitler's inner circle that there's even like records of people being like, I think he's like 100% serious about us building this, and we don't know what to do.
You couldn't do that. Like that's not, materials don't work that way. The reason that works so well on a boat is that boats are heavy as hell.
Yeah.
And that water is really good at absorbing impacts without just destroying the boats.
Yes.
Like there are a lot of really important things about like huge steel boats that make very large guns work.
Yes. And yeah, it would have been a real problem.
Like the railroad guns, you could only fire them like 10 times and they just broke.
Yeah, and would also destroy the rails that they were mounted on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were yeah.
They had to be refurbished after like 10 shots.
Yeah, there was a quote.
Do that with a tank.
There was a quote from one of the guys who worked on this. Oh, here it is. So Heinz Guderian, when he heard about this, was and this is a direct quote, Hitler's fantasies sometimes shift into the gigantic, which is a very diplomatic way of saying
the man is off his fucking natter.
Totally nuts. I mean, the first problem that you run into is the fact that when you take a turret from a Scheinhorst battleship, like everybody thinks that the turret is just like the top part, but like
there's like 25 feet deep.
Yeah, it's like literally 3 stories deep. So.
Yeah, you can't do
oh
that.
Man, I want to show you the like. Okay.
It would be like if you played Madden with the bobblehead cheat on, and then you're like, make me a football player like that guy.
and then you spent 300,000 marks breeding Aryan giant-headed children.
Yeah.
There you go. I sent everyone to scale of the size of this thing. Just to be clear, the tank on the right is a King Tiger.
Right.
Yep, I'm seeing a picture.
Yeah.
Which, to be clear, I don't know
how big a King Tiger is.
They're
enormous.
That's like twice as long. No, it's like 1.5 times as long as a Humvee, something like that. Maybe twice as long.
What, a king tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know how big like an actual Humvee is.
You're in the right ballpark there.
Yeah, the Tiger is like twice as long as that.
Yeah. And super heavy. So the Lata was proposed, its proposed weight when they designed it was going to be 1,000 tons.
What is it, like 130 feet long?
It is enormous. Let's see. Yeah, it was going to be 36 feet tall, 46 feet wide, yeah, and 115 feet long.
How would you
But it's 128 feet long if you point the guns forward because they overlap. Oh my god.
It's just a logistical problem in every single way you can think about it.
Well, I mean, luckily you probably be able to...
why ants are not actually super strong. People just don't understand that things
don't scale. Yeah.
like
yeah, that's why
cube problem.
That's why like a squirrel can fall out of a tree and hit the ground like 30 feet and hit the ground and be okay. Whereas if you dropped an elephant 30 feet,
well, it's why elephants don't run.
All the lungs would come out. Yeah. Something would come out of its butthole.
That's not Jim Carrey. Into their innards.
Yeah. Yes. The planned propulsion was two 24-cylinder marine diesel engines, producing 8,000 horsepower each. Oh man, that is hysterical. Wow. The engines were provided with snorkels, like those used by German submarines, so that oxygen could reach the engine, because you'd have to ford through rivers because no bridges could hold it. Oh man, that's amazing.
Dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was really, really stupid. There's a whole section just labeled issues in the Wikipedia article.
That word is doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
Really carrying it.
Large size and weight would have rendered the tank unable to cross bridges, at risk of collapsing them, and traveling on roads would soon destroy them. Though its top intended speed was 25 miles per hour, its huge size and high visibility would have made it extremely vulnerable to aerial bombardment and artillery fire. Its great size would have also meant that once built, the vehicle's strategic, operational, and technical mobility would be entirely dependent on its own drivetrain, for there were no other realistic means of moving it from one firing position to another. No existing railway or train car could bear its weight, and its width was too great for existing tunnels. Yep.
That sounds like an oversight. They just made it more narrow. And just have a very long, very narrow tank.
Make the tunnels. Yeah. Yes. That's, at that point, you've just built an army. You've now created a railway gun, which they already had.
I think when you built a train on treadmills. Treads.
Yeah, just they should have just put it on a whole bunch of rollerblades.
Yeah. And then it would be drawn by 1,000 motorcycles.
Yeah.
Like a chariot.
Honestly, that might work better.
It would also be more rad, which I think is obviously incredibly important.
Oh my
if
god.
only Hitler lived to see the invention of the jet ski. Imagine what he could have done with that.
Oh dear.
You could not a trebuchet on a jet
It's two jet skis with a trebuchet in the middle, and it throws another jet ski.
Are you saying it's like a jet ski?
Throws them in series. That's how it moves. It trims along.
Oh my god. Oh man.
All right. Well, on that note,
On that incredibly stupid note.
Now that we've talked about the jet ski catamaran trebuchet, I think we're done.
Mm.
all right.
Man.
See you later.
Are we
Right.
though?
Alright,
Are
y'all.
we?
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right, I better call it. I gotta get up early for filming again. I got like 3 days of filming in the row.
Well,
So
good luck.
farewell.
With
Josh
that.
seems to have frozen in some sort of grimace.
Nah, I think that he's just standing very still, to be honest. And do that too. Look.
Best death ever. All right, see you, man.
See you later. Alright, everybody. Take my break, and then I'll be back. And they actually have no clue what to do, but we'll see. Later.